And you played some Call of Duty as well, correct?
I did. I had a lot of fun with Call of Duty, surprisingly. So I pulled up some, I wrote down some notes as I was playing it, just so I didn't talk completely out of my ass. But
like a journalist.
well, there's just like notes of things that were, coming to my mind of. I was really happy with this. This is the beta. Mm-hmm. The last time they had it free to play was the alpha, which this one. So the beta eventually became free. I think you had to pre-order the game to get into the beta, which started like Friday.
Right.
I didn't want to do that yet, so I looked up online. People were apparently creating dummy PlayStation accounts that said they're from not Afghanistan, but like somewhere in the United Arab United Arab something. Emirates. There we go. You create a dummy account and then it's free. It's like, okay, I did all that and I was playing online, but then at like midnight, Activision's like, hey, everyone can play it, so it's free now. So I was like, okay, I did all this dummy stuff. Meanwhile, my nephew, we had him over the weekend, and he's like, oh, are you hacking? I'm going to call the FBI because I think you're hacking, because I was creating a dummy account. So in his mind, I'm like doing something illegal. I'm like, okay, dude.
I can hear it in his voice. It's just very articulate.
It's like, well, I'm calling Donald Trump right now. I don't know if this is okay.
ICE? Is that ICE?
Yeah, I'm calling ICE. You're going to pick up you and me in the process. But yeah, that aside, I played it and it was a blast, man. It was really cool.
Nice.
Next, so they're doing these weird like slow releases of the alpha, the beta. It's on PS4 for free. Eventually, it's I think this next coming weekend it's on 360, Xbox One, and PC. So that's when they're testing the crossplay ability. So
in that's going to be the real test, because so far I've heard the servers have been pretty good.
Yeah, as far as with PS4 stuff, it's been good. Now I'd be interested to see if you can try and get on PC. I wonder if there's I think you have to create a BattleNet account, which is free. PC can run it. You think so? Because then we could do crossplay and see how that works. Gotcha. Well, I mean, anyways, on PS4 it's working fine. Yeah. But yeah. So I just like the slight tweaks that they're making to make it fresh. One big thing for me is playing Call of Duty. I don't know, the past like 10 years or whatever. You're always kind of limited to the perks you can adjust, the adjustments on your gun in between game modes. Like you have that.
Lobby. Oh yeah, you can do it now, and it takes effect when you're.
Now you can do it on the fly, and that's great. I don't know why we ever limited that, but you can test stuff, you can change stuff out. Do you have mixed feelings on that?
No, I mean it's like you said. Like, why was that ever a thing? Maybe it was just too hard to get all those menus loaded in alongside everything else, because that's a lot of gun images and stuff.
Sure.
Just keeping that road running smoothly. So maybe that's what it is now. Do
you think that was a gameplay mechanic tweak, or it was actual performance thing that they were worried about?
I think part of it could have been as well. So like you're storing all your data, probably most likely. I mean, maybe you're storing it. Hell, probably not locally, because that could allow people to cheat. So they're probably storing that on a remote server, and that's not the fastest to be going back and forth checking all your available loadouts, your current loadouts, your skins. Like, that's a lot of data, so you combine that with a fast-paced action of a multiplayer match.
Right. You don't want that.
Yeah, it's going to slow stuff down. So it may have honestly been a technical limitation trying to keep all that running smoothly.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, having that enabled is it's kind of a no-brainer, but once it's there, it's like, okay, I can actually tweak stuff, which keeps me in the game longer, because I don't have to wait for these menus. Often the time was where I was adjusting stuff after a match, and then I'm not watching the ticker that's somewhere in the corner, and then the next match starts. So whether I enabled that thing on my gun or not, it's your SOL, and you jump back into the game. So now you can just adjust it on the fly. That was really cool. So stuff like that. Not to go back to the graphics again, but the graphics are pretty amazing. Like it's kind of funny, because if you look at Ghosts, Call of Duty Ghosts, which was that first launch Call of Duty game and with these original consoles, like on PS4, Xbox One X.
Oh, okay.
That was the first one to launch with, and Ghost got a lot of mixed reviews, but they're using that engine that was, apparently like a beefed up engine. But to see that game and this game, it's like they're night and day. Like looks like a next gen game. It's pretty awesome. So that lends to the fact that they have this new lighting tech going on. So there's these night mode versions of the game, which are super dope. So and it really plays with your strategy. So every time you aim, you have this laser sight, but that can be seen by other players. So you can't just aim willy nilly. You kind of have to plan your aims.
So here's the thing with that laser sight: does it show like a full beam, or do you just see the dot?
You see the beam all the way across. So I imagine in real life, I've never seen this in real life, but it looks realistic. So when you're aiming, you see this laser travel across the room, so you can actually visually see it. So you can play with that. You can see where people are. There's flashes on, on scopes and stuff, or reflections. So it's just their lighting thing, I think, is what they've actually upgraded to allow all this graphical stuff. There's upgraded textures and stuff too. But just that alone, like playing with light, or it's funny, like with flashbangs in that night mode, they actually, work. There's a huge effect where if you throw a flashbang, you're basically blind. Like,
right.
Not just my character, I'm blind. Like, my entire screen goes white. Or, I've just been zoning out, not blinking.
As a person, help me to the kitchen.
yeah, I need to use I have Megan, like, help me to the bathroom. But, so just playing with that, like with the light mode, with the new lighting engine, I mean, I have no complaints. Like, it's really cool. I'm not this Call of Duty expert. I just end up getting suckered in every year. Like, I feel like every year I played, whether it's the return to World War II there was the blackout mode they did with the last one with Black Ops 4, and just like years before that, Advanced Warfare, and so you name it. I always get suckered in. But there's always something about the gameplay. It's always tight. Like, for whatever criticism they get, they earn possibly. The gameplay is always tight. The gunplay is always tight. Right. And so, no complaints.
I heard very good things about the level design. Like, now that they're doing not the 3-lane map for everything, like, apparently the map was really, really fun that people were able to test out.
For sure. So with that first alpha, it was the 2v2 maps. I think there was 3 or 4 of them. Those are really balanced and just like perfectly. Yeah, it wasn't just these one lanes or a few lanes that you can go to. Now they've opened it up with the beta where there's these larger maps. But you can kind of they're balanced enough and interesting enough where you're never quite safe. You always have to watch everything. They do a great job of balancing that. You don't have the same verticality with some of the last Advanced Warfare modes or games where you're just like jetpacking around, up. But even though you remove that, you're still moving super fast, and there's still this somewhat verticality that seems realistic as you would normally be jumping around. So it's pretty cool how they have the best people working over there, I'm sure. I want to say this is still Infinity Ward. This is maybe their last one they're working on. We could probably pull up the details, but I know they're working on this one.
After that, they all retire.
Yeah. But basically, that's the whole thing. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. It's a bummer that I think this morning the beta ended, but then they're reopening it again this weekend, and that's where it's the cross play test where you can play Xbox One, PC. But
it's gonna be cool.
I'm pretty stoked for that.